There are some negative things about Davenport. Why are we spending money on a big infrastructure project like that? It became very, very dangerous. It collapsed and killed 3 people. If you've done your research on Davenport, Iowa, you've probably noticed a lot of locals have a lot to say, and it's all not good. But if you go on and find the tourist sites, the headlines, the city promos, everything is glowing. So what is the disconnect? Well, today we're going to show you the parts of Davenport the media won't show you. Now, one of the main things you will hear about Davenport is the state of its infrastructure when it comes to buildings. And one of the most notorious is what is right behind me. Now, it may look like just a green field, but it wasn't always that way. It used to be a building known as Davenport Hotel, which was apartments. And over time, the city let it get to a point to where it became very, very dangerous. In fact, it was so dangerous, it collapsed and killed 3 people. This is the news story that covered that.
The moments before an apartment building partially collapsed in Davenport, Iowa, were caught on camera. No deaths have been confirmed, but 3 residents are still missing.
Now you can see it was a horrible tragedy. A lot of people really did not like how the city handled a lot of that, and it's still going on today. There are buildings around downtown, around the area that are in a dilapidated stage. In fact, they just announced one that is set for demolish in the near future because of this problem that they've been having.
Tonight, Davenport leaders will vote on a contract to demolish building at 711 West 3rd Street. The city deemed it a public hazard back in February. They say it's been vacant for nearly 2 decades. If approved, the demo will cost almost $210,000, but the property owner will pay the cost, not taxpayers.
So it's absolutely a fact that there is some problems with the infrastructure, the building codes that are here, and the city seems to be trying to fix that up, but it's been an ongoing thing for a long time. So a lot of maintenance has been pushed off to where these buildings are sometimes unsafe. Not all of them, but a good amount of them because of all of the stuff that happened before this building collapsed. And it is a big problem, and you will see that in a lot of the online forums of people talking about it. So just know there is some truth to what the people are saying when it comes to the infrastructure here in Davenport, Iowa. Now, that stuff about infrastructure is obviously a big deal, but it also extends to some neighborhoods. You'll drive around Davenport and you'll see these pockets of neighborhoods that have homes that are basically falling in. They're very now taken care of, definitely not in any kind of repair. And you see that all over, and it's just in pockets. There are a ton of great neighborhoods for sure in Davenport, but those pockets are very prevalent, and people talk about that online a lot, as in they are tired of seeing that in their neighborhoods. They want to see something done, but the city just really isn't doing enough to try to clean up some of those neighborhoods in order to make them beautiful again. And you'll see it, like I said, in pockets. It's not everywhere. You just got to know where those pockets are, and how to actually get it fixed from a city standpoint is really the biggest hot button topic when it comes to infrastructure, not just in commercial buildings, but in neighborhoods as well. Now, another thing that you'll see a lot on the online forums is people complaining or saying things about how the city is allocating its money. And right behind me is actually probably the most prevalent example that people are talking about as of right now. And what is this? Well, this is a big project that the city is putting a lot of money into that is down on the riverfront. And to be honest, I think it's going to be really a cool project. But the problem is there is no flood wall or no reason to keep the river away from that part. So people are frustrated with the city putting so much money and time into this part, where when the water comes, it's gonna get destroyed and dilapidated very quickly. And based on the city's record, it seems like they won't clean it up and do a great job of getting it fixed up. If that does happen, I do think it's gonna be really cool. But again, this is the latest version of people being frustrated on how the city is spending their money, because it's going to be very expensive and people don't see the money being put into things that will help the city prevent certain things happening, like flooding, because it does flood downtown all the time. The last one just a couple years ago, and in 2019 was the biggest flood that we've ever had, and we saw a ton of damage done down here. And to be honest with you, some of it isn't quite as fixed up as it should be, even though it's been that long ago. So I get it, people are frustrated, and this is one of the reasons why they don't trust that the city is spending the money wisely and in a way that the citizens really want. So you'll see it online and take it for what you feel like it is. And people are frustrated with how the city is spending the money, and this is just the most recent example of that situation. One of the arguments for the misallocation of funds is, why are we spending money on a big infrastructure project like that park down on the river when we have horrible roads? Potholes in Davenport are very prevalent, especially in the season that we're in right now. Just came out of winter, and things have really not got fixed as much as we would like to see it fixed here in Davenport. So huge, big deal when it comes to money and how it is spent, because we have roads that are potholes. And another big thing that's been announced is that they are converting particularly this street and 3rd Street into 2 ways instead of fixing potholes elsewhere. Obviously, this one needs to be fixed as well, but it is something that people talk about all the time, is why aren't we spending money on the right things in order to get our roads up to snuff? And then maybe we could talk about big structures and things like that big park putting down by the river. So you'll see that a lot on the online forums and what people are talking about when it's talking about Davenport specifically. Another topic that comes up a lot when you're talking about Davenport is the crime here in the city. And recently, Davenport actually had a survey done about downtown specifically, and this is what city official had to say about that survey.
That's right, Will. Now, according to the City of Davenport survey, only 47% of people who responded to that survey feel safe when downtown. And only 36% of residents say crime prevention efforts are either good or very good. Alderman Kyle Grip pushed back at the notion that downtown Davenport is unsafe.
Statistics tell a different story than how people feel. And so the statistics would say that our downtown is safe, and it's a place that you can live and you can walk around and you can enjoy yourself.
So as you can see, there may be a disconnect from what the city officials are seeing versus what the citizens are saying about their city. And if you're curious about that, I am planning on doing a video talking to citizens specifically on how they feel about the crime in the city. But this is not a video about trashing Davenport. I obviously live in Davenport, and I do generally enjoy living here. There are people that move here all the time and do generally like it because the city is diverse in the different aspects of it. But it is true, there are some negative things about Davenport, and I need to tell everybody about that. So did I miss anything? If you're local, let me know down in the comments the things I could have talked about, because I know there is some things that are out there that are possible that could be on a separate video. But if you're moving to Davenport, my number is popping up down below. I'm a local realtor that helps people make the move here to Davenport and make the right decision on which neighborhood they should be in. So give me a call, send me a text. But if you want to see what Davenport is all about, the pros and cons, well, check out this video right here.